Hello and welcome to Chicago Reacts. My name is Lauren and today I am going to be looking at a Kentucky Ballistics video. I know I don't usually look at these, but they're talking about medieval weapons versus the modern warrior. How lethal are medieval weapons? And I'm curious to see what they have to say about it over here. I've got my long sword with me here. Isn't she beautiful? She's lovely. So this is this is my medieval weaponry. And because I'm curious and I like medieval weaponry, I wanted to see what Kentucky Ballistics has to say about it. So I'm looking forward to it. Before I get going, I did want to give a shout out to a couple of channel members. So thank you to Justin Hamilton, Jorge Garcia, Leon, Austin Langton, and Timothy Lucas. Thank you all so much for watching. If you do want to have a shout out on the channel, be a member. It also helps as a member if you comment, and that way I know for a fact you've seen the video. And that way I also know that this is the kind of content you want to see more of. And as we do want to make sure our channel members are getting what they're paying for. If you cannot be a member right now, we do understand. It is okay with us. Just leave a like, subscribe to the channel, comment, all of those things help us out immensely as well. So now, without any further ado, medieval weapons versus the modern warrior. Let us begin. It's got a mace and an axe, okay.
Who's this guy?
He's fun. Get it! Smash that cock.
Hey! What are you doing? I will defeat both of you! What's up, everybody? My name is Scott, and you're watching Kentucky Ballistics. And not too long ago, I bought this little guy, and I've been having a lot of fun with it, and it got me thinking.
That does look fun.
How useful would medieval weapons be in the modern era? So today I have a plethora of medieval weapons. I have a ballistic dummy lab zombie torso, and I have modern armor. We are going to put these to the test against medieval weaponry and see how effective they would be, or are they outdated?
Well, I feel like what I'm going to say is if that's all the armor that this guy is wearing, sword trumps it. The place that you aim for the sword is right there. Like or right here, like right at you can't see me, the shoulder joints. Cause like the places you aim with a sword are meant to be for the weak spots in the armor. And then if you have a rondel dagger as well, those are going to be like a dagger about this big, long, cylindrical, with like very pokey at the end, not very slicey on the sides. But those were meant to like pop open a tin can. So like, but I'm just looking at some of if that's all the armor they got, there's a reason that medieval armor has like these big chest pieces and their necks are covered and their whole head, like the whole head is covered.
Let's get set up and get started. Okay, first things first, we're gonna see how lethal these things are against an unarmored subject. So I have a Ballistic Dummy Labs zombie bust right here. And our first weapon, I don't really know the name of it. I really don't know the name of any of the weapons we have today. So I'm just gonna give them my own. This is the spiky meatball on...
Oh my God, I thought he was gonna say, this is Keith or something. That's what I would have did.
On a stick. And I'm just
I like the spicy meatball on the stick.
Whack and see what happens. All right, here we go.
Yikes.
I bent my stick. That's not very high quality, is it? But I will say that definitely looks pretty lethal. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, but that's still pretty bad.
It's
So
not
I was
great.
not very impressed with the spiky meatball on a stick. So up next, I've got this thing. It looks pretty mean.
It's just
It's
another
very
mace, isn't it?
spiky, and this is solid. Like, this is one solid piece of metal. I'm gonna call this the spiky scepter. I got higher hopes for this one.
All right, spiky scepter. Oh, dip. Oh, wow. Okay. Rip.
Yeah, that was pretty gnarly. I'm definitely gonna say that's lethal. That's real bad. Oh dear.
Gotta get him again. Hi, you used to have a face. You no longer have one. Your skull is mine. How much are these things? I want to smack
So I
them.
think we've established that medieval weapons are indeed lethal. But now what we're going to find out is how effective would medieval weaponry be against modern armor. So this is a ballistic helmet. This is rated for most pistol rounds, I think all the way up to 44 Magnum. So we're going to put this on a new, fresh zombie bust.
He should also, I don't know if he's going to, but he should also test them against like a medieval helmet too, like medieval armor. If he, you know, I think he should try it against that. Though I will say, depending on the era you're in, not everybody used like just full, like depending on how high you were in the rankings, not everybody used metal. Sometimes it was just like leathers. And you know, a lot of people died, but also a lot of people couldn't afford a full suit of armor. But I would be curious to see how some of these things hold up against the armor of the day, if he had it.
And we're going to take another whack at it with the spiky scepter. Okie dokie. Here we go. Yeah!
I mean, that still looks like a concussion to me.
Wow, that definitely looked, oh, it bent it. It bent my spiky scepter.
Aw, so
Darn
sad.
it. And he looks good. He looks solid. Our helmet, we didn't even penetrate it. Doesn't look like we have much damage at all. So, the modern helmet, modern armor, at least against this particular medieval weapon, did a pretty good job. You know, this guy is pretty ugly, but you know what else is ugly? Debt. It seems like most people have experienced
I was gonna say taxes.
debt or are currently in debt, and it's really easy to accumulate a lot of it. And once you do, it can be very difficult to dig yourself out. I too have experienced debt, but at the time there were not many options out there. But thankfully now there's companies like today's sponsor, PDS Debt. Hadouken! PDS Debt has customized solutions for anyone struggling with debt, whether it be personal loans, collections, credit cards, or medical bills. Oh, that is quite a mess, and I don't really feel like cleaning that up. But PDS Debt can help you clean up your mess. They will roll all of your monthly payments into one low monthly payment. Everyone with $10,000 or more in eligible debt qualifies, and there's no minimum credit score required.
Wow.
Bad
Cool.
and fair credit is accepted. PDS Debt will help you to save thousands in interest and fees and help you to pay off your debt in a fraction of the time. Right now, PDS Debt is offering a free debt analysis, and it only takes 30 seconds. All you got to do is swing over to pdsdebt.com/KYB to start your free debt analysis today. Or you
This might still be fully valid, y'all. So the link for his video is going to be in the description box of this one. So just saying, go ahead and take a
You can
look.
find that link in the description down below. A big thank you to PDS Debt for sponsoring today's video. Now, let's get back to it. Okay, well, we're gonna go ahead and step it up a little bit. I've got an even bigger spiky
Morning
ball,
Star.
but this one's on a chain. I'm gonna give this thing a few swings and see what happens. There we go. Oh, I missed. Darn it.
Those I think would be really hard to use.
Gonna have to dig.
Good job.
That's in there good.
Good job. I mean, imagine if that was in your back, dude.
Almost got it. Maybe I'll hit it this time. 1, 2, 3. Oh!
I mean, you broke your that broke your neck, bro. Like that definitely.
We did some damage to that helmet that time. We've got a pretty good little.
That also
right
like
there,
think about like with the compression. Like what did it do to your?
I don't believe we did any real damage to. Oh dear. Well, he's got a little bit of a hemorrhage. It's just sticking out right. Oh, just push it back in. No big deal.
That looks like a little bit of a fractured skull, and you definitely broke the neck. I don't think he's gonna. I think he's going to be aiming for the armor. So I guess I shouldn't be thinking about it like a medieval fighter would be thinking about it, because they would just be like, "Aye."
Not a big deal at all. Just popped right back in there. Also, his skull is kind of cracked. So
good job, Morningstar.
To do quite a bit of damage with this medieval weapon, even with this modern armor. Man, that was a really hard hit. It's time to get a little more serious and step it up another notch. This here is my meat tenderizer, and it has a very pointy spike on the end, and I've got high hopes for this one.
Once again, like a lot of medieval weapons do have like they're really, really pokey because again, they're built to get into the chinks in the armor and to get underneath all of those armor joints. So that's why they're so pointy.
We almost penetrated,
but not slidey. Like that's why the knives and stuff are usually like specifically the knives. The swords are going to be sharp on the sides, but like the knives are not necessarily going to be sharp on the side. It's going to be mostly at a point, at a pokey area. At least especially like the rondel daggers that everyone would have had.
With the spiky ball on a chain. So I think that this one has a pretty good shot. Okay, here we go.
Oh!
Well, I think I could have hit a little bit harder, but we hit right there. And there is a good little pinhole there.
There's some...
But I think we can do better. I was kind of afraid I was going to break this thing, but I'm going to be a little braver this time.
We want to crack them like a coconut, baby!
Hey, where's my helmet? There you go.
Oh, there goes his brain.
Let's have a look, shall we?
I think that was already there though, right?
I hit that really hard, and I'm not really sure where I even hit, to be quite honest. I think right there is where that Velcro patch is. Oh. I think we made it through, actually.
Wow.
Take out this pad. Yeah, we've got a little hole right there.
Oh, wow.
Look right here.
I was like, I thought I saw a hole in the skull.
New notch right there with a little hole. So we didn't make it very far through the helmet, but we did make it through the helmet, and honestly, I think that's pretty impressive. Before we move on, let's go ahead and take a whack with the hammer portion of this and an unarmored subject.
Oh my God. He got it all over him. Wow.
I'm going to say this is pretty effective. I would definitely want to be wearing some sort of a helmet if somebody had one of these, because that was just pretty awful. That's
pretty brutal.
My pants. Darn it. Luckily, though, I did not get, well, I did. I got some on my shirt. Just a little bit. But it's still okay. If you would like to pick up one of my limited edition 3-year anniversary shirts that does not have blue stains on it, you should swing over to KentuckyBallistics.com. There's a link in the description down below. And while you're at it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and hit that bell for notifications. I feel like this is what the cleanup crew was like back in the gladiator days, you know? I'm just clearing all this off here.
Let's just clear off the skull chips.
Poor Jim. Okay, it is time to move on to a full-blown zombie torso. I'm placing the armored helmet on it, and we have some Premier Body Armor, soft armor. This is level 3A, and it's rated up to 44 Magnum. Now, I don't really expect this next weapon to penetrate said soft armor, but we're gonna take a whack at it anyways.
Still leave a bruise, though. That wouldn't be comfy.
So, obviously, we did not penetrate the body armor. His head is, oh, that's not good. I think there's a good chance his head might fall off. So I can feel a pop.
Uh-oh.
Nothing a little duct tape can't fix.
Fair.
Put that right there.
Duct tape is magic.
Pull his head back. So when it comes to this soft armor, I'm a lot more interested in
A one-handed
pointy and
sword.
sharp weaponry than I am blunt force weaponry. So we have a sword, and I'm gonna take a whack at this thing this way, and I'm gonna try to stab it and see if the modern soft armor will hold up.
I will be judging his swing, by the way.
To this medieval masterpiece.
It's a one-handed sword, my dude. Oh, yeah, there's a new
okay, we need to check
cut in
that
there.
out. We cut this whole part of the carrier, and we cut into that armor just a tad.
Wow.
We definitely didn't make it all the way through it, but my goodness, that is actually pretty darn sharp. Okay, I got some gloves on now. I am going to try to stab, and then I'm going to take one more whack at the swinging, but we'll try to slice a little more. All right, here we go.
Whee! The swords are built to bend, by the way. That one was a little better. They are built to do that, though. Like, if you look at mine. Woo, there goes my microphone. Like, if you... My microphone fell. But mine also bends because they are built to stay. Like, wiggle, 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 wiggle. It's supposed to, because of physics. And also, I think it's less likely for the sword to be, like, it's harder to break it if, like, it gets stuck in a person or under their boot. Like, if it's meant to bend, you're more likely to get it back.
You got, well, wow. Actually, you know what? We may have done more damage than I thought. Let's take this off here. Ooh. Okay. It's all good and cut up. We can just kind of rip that off there. Actually cut through quite a few layers.
Wow.
But we did not make it through the back. So it seems like our path to victory today when it comes to medieval weapons against modern armor is having something pointy. So up next, we have a spear. Okay, now the next question is, am I actually going to be able to hit him? So
no. Why are you throwing it?
Oh, we actually hit it.
I mean, good job, but like you hold this. You don't throw the spear unless like you have like no other option. You're not gonna throw your spear. You use that to keep somebody further away from you. Like they got a sword, you got a spear. You want to keep the spear with you. Don't throw your weapon. Like javelins were like meant to be thrown. Spears are not meant. They're not meant to be tossed. What are you doing? that kind of thrust weapon.
Yeah,
My-
I don't think that we made it through. That bounced right off of there. I'm going to take another whack at this. I'm not
Don't
really
throw-
sure
oh my
what the
God.
proper technique is for spear throwing. but
Not
I'm gonna try to
this!
throw it harder. Yeah!
I mean, good, but like, he's got a good arm. I'll give him that. But just like watching him throw this thing, I'm like, why? Why are you doing this?
Well, I can feel a little bit of a bulge, but it did not make it through it.
There you go. That's what you're supposed to do.
Not going in. Like, that is really tough. Power! Yeah! Oh!
But yeah, that was more what you're supposed to do with the spear. It seems like it did more damage from the outset, but like that's also why you aim for the parts that are not covered by armor with any kind of medieval weapon. But I was like, that was closer. That was more what you're supposed to do. Is you because again, it's a huge boon in keeping people away from you. Is why you use the spear. Stay away. And the pole arm too, like they're huge, long weapons.
Spear throwing technique.
I mean, he's pretty good at throwing it, but that's your last resort. Or if it's like a distraction, you throw the spear and then you come up with the sword. That's something like that is a technique that I guess you could use. But in general, if all you've got, keep your weapon long first.
Pretty effective right there. And you definitely, yep, that would do it.
Yep.
I would definitely.
I kind of want to throw a spear now, though.
Not so much luck with the spear, but I feel pretty good about the old meat tenderizer. I think I may be able to drive that through there. We're gonna take a shot at it. So, let's see here. 1, 2, 3. Oh, yep, that did it.
Oh, you heard that. Ooh, squish. But that's what it was built for. Like that's what that particular
That went right through.
That's what it was made to do.
Armor, and it looks like we hit. That's where we hit. Right in that spot. Right.
Bye-bye.
There. Oh, yeah. So for my final weapon today, I have the 4-bore of swords. This is a 9-foot long claymore. Oh, this thing's a little hard to wield.
Yeah.
Okay.
I honestly don't know why anyone, like, if that would have ever been used for anything other than, like, ceremonial anything. Like, I don't know as much about that kind of thing as I could. I know a little bit more about, like, just general techniques for basic weapons, but I feel like something like that, they would use a spear or a polearm instead. Like, they wouldn't use... So... I can see it being used for something ceremonial, though.
Here we go.
I mean, he didn't hit it with the... He hit it with the flat of the blade, it looks like. Oh, yeah, no, he got it, kinda. That seems like a useless blade, you know? It cut through the strap, but, like, there's very little control. And that's not his fault. That's just, like, you can't, it's too long.
Okay. I don't know who constructed this sword, but it wasn't made for a man of my stature, apparently. I guess I put a lot of force behind that, and it's, well, it's bent, and the handle broke off. Wow. I'm so happy that I didn't pay, like, $1,500 for that sword, because I totally didn't. Let's take a look at
Wow.
Mr. Zombie here. I hit the strap, and we did absolutely nothing.
Yeah, because
Not a
it
darn
sucks.
thing.
That was not a sword that anyone would have
Perfectly
used.
fine.
I mean, that did shear his nose off. Ouch.
Did I hit him?
Yeah. But again, this is why you use the swords against the not armored part of a person.
Yep. Oh. Oh, okay. Well, that was pretty effective. Not bad for a dull sword. That sword does not have an edge on it. Okay, now let's see what I can do with a smaller sword that I can maneuver better and has quite an edge on it. Okay, yeah, that was definitely more effective. Right
It's
there,
still a
that was
one-handed
pretty good
sword,
shot.
though. I mean, you can use a one-handed sword with two hands, and just like you could use a two-handed sword with one hand, but like that that sword is a one-handed. That's a one-handed weapon. He should be using that with like in conjunction with like either with a knife or a shield, something of that nature.
Way more effective than the bigger sword.
I want to smash some zombie things with a sword. Nice. Pitchfork. Nice! I liked that. I mean, he's using it, like a lance now, or again, like a javelin. That's pretty skillful, though, riding on the side, like the motorcycle and chucking it. Good job. I mean, that looked badass. This looks very funny. Someone got real lost on the way to medieval times.
Okay, well, I have come to the conclusion that medieval weapons are no longer relevant, at least in my humble opinion. We had a very hard time defeating modern armor with medieval weapons, and honestly, I had a hard time in general defeating a zombie torso with the medieval weapons. I mean, I did more damage with my mini bike than I did with all of my weapons combined. So I'm gonna go ahead and say that that's a no-go for me, and I'm gonna stick with modern technology. Let me know what you thought about them in the comment section down below. And while you're at it, be sure and give today's video a like, and be sure and hit that subscribe button. Also, be sure and check me out on all social media platforms. Links to all those can be found in the description down below, along with a link to KentuckyBallistics.com, just in case you want to pick up one of my limited shirts.
Nice.
And as always, my name is Scott. Thank you so much for watching Kentucky Ballistics, and I'll see you next time.
Okay. Great. See, the thing is, I mean, I am a little bit partial to medieval weaponry, personally. But that's just because I find it very fun. It's fun to hit people with swords. Oh, a flail. Okay. But my point is, they're designed to do something in a different way. So you have to aim at a different thing. So it's like some of those, it's not about utter destruction necessarily. It's about just killing the guy. Although I do know that he has a lot of fun exploding. Ow. He has a lot of fun exploding things, which, fair. Exploding things is fun. Explosions are enjoyable. But I'm just like, you know, aim here. That person's dead, baby. you get them, their head's gone. You know, if you get them in the stomach, they're also gonna die. Probably slow and not very comfortable. And hey, I was pretty impressed that it got through the armor at all, honestly, especially like the hammer pick. That was a lot. I don't think I would be able to do that kind of damage. I do not have the strength. But again, that's the other thing about medieval weaponry is it doesn't matter necessarily how strong you are as long as you've got the technique. Like you can go against somebody who's a lot bigger and stronger than you, but if you know what you're doing and they don't, it can work out in your favor. But anyway, I did have fun with that. Like I said, I'm not an expert or anything on medieval weapons, but I do know some basic stuff, and at least I know things that my guild teaches. You know, we fight more of in an Italian style too, so it is there's definitely a lot of different types of fighting styles that I don't know anything about. So I might have been even wrong about the spear thing, but based on what we study, you don't throw them. Unless you have to. Like, you absolutely can, but like it's not how they're like that's not your first move, essentially. Anyway, I enjoyed that video. I hope you did too. If you want me to react to more of Scott's stuff, I will. It's just, like I said, it's not usually in my wheelhouse. But you know, I like him. He was fun. And I don't think I'd really I think I've reacted to one of his videos before. But if you want me to do more, I will. Go ahead and let me know in the comments below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye-bye.